Hi, Beth.
That is a good looking hat. I wish I had one of those.
You can just come here and get it.
Okay, yeah, don't tempt me. So I'm Beth Berry. I am Vice President of Business Development for Real Green Systems. Real Green and our founder today, Joe Kucik, is on the webinar with us for this very special Michigan-only town hall edition to talk about the State of the Union during the COVID crisis and how it pertains to that great state of Michigan. Our CEO, Bill Noonan, had on a Michigan State hat earlier, Joe, and I had to defend our honor because sometimes he switches over to the Spartan side. I think he's just trying to keep the peace.
He's being politically correct, I think. Well, I wore my U.S. flag shirt because this is a national disaster. But I also want people to feel at home with a little bit of Michigan. If I had a Michigan State hat, I probably wouldn't have worn it anyhow. But
no, you wouldn't have, because some things are just sacred. One of the things I love most about Real Green is that we talk about sports almost every day. And I still have hope that college football season is going to happen. And that is what gets me through the day, my friend.
Well, you have to have hope. If you lose hope, you've lost the battle.
That is a fact. When I started working for Real Green and traveling to Detroit, I used to travel to Columbus, Ohio, and boy, did I welcome the departure from Buckeye fans. And I'll say this about Michigan fans. I don't know if the football's any better, but they're much easier to get along with. And I like Michigan fans a whole lot better than Buckeye fans. But it also makes me think about, and maybe this goes back to the fall and rise of Detroit and the auto industry, but to a person at Real Green, just the work ethic and the commitment to excellence and commitment to serving our customers it's extraordinary, and I think it's unique to Michigan. And it's other than working with you and my friends, the thing I've most loved about Michigan. So I wanted to say that. And I know that although Michigan is the most extraordinarily impacted from a green industry perspective right now, it gives me great hope that once we figure this out, Michigan will not be defeated.
Well, we will all be successful. This country has faced so many calamities. The Spanish flu in 1918 took 20 million lives. It was horrible, and our country was a fraction of the size it is today. And you look at the Great Depression, and you look at the World War II. You look at the housing crisis. We've always been an innovative country. We've always figured out how we work our way out of it. This is maybe the most challenging of all, shutting down our economy. Never seen anything like this. I don't think any of us have ever seen anything like this. I think you got to be a little careful about talking about the Buckeye fans, though, Beth. They're customers too, and there are a lot of nice Buckeye fans. But
I know, I tease them.
That's okay. I do as well. So, we talk about it's a national emergency. It's unbelievable, but it's even worse in Michigan right now, where our governor has taken. You can't even call it a hardline stance. It's like a stance of she won't even consider alternatives. Today, she outlawed boating. I can't get in my rowboat and go out in the middle of the lake and throw out a line and go fishing. She's just getting over the top, threatening people. Last week she threatened doctors if they gave out the anti-malaria drug. She'd pull their license, and 2 days later she's asking the federal government to send her drugs. It's being even made more difficult by our state government. Every state that I'm aware of in the country is out doing service right now. I've talked to people in Florida, I've talked to people in Pennsylvania, I've talked all over the country. Now, I haven't talked to every state, but every state that I'm aware of is following the Homeland Security CISA recommendations that lawn care falls under. But for some reason, our governor will, even though she said she's following that, has excluded us from that and threatening us with our licenses and fines if we go out and do lawn care. Now, my recommendation is there's very little doubt. I'm not an attorney and I can't give you legal advice, but we need to get out and start doing our pest control. We can't let kids get Lyme disease because they're home from school in their backyard all the time. We need to get out and start doing our mosquito control. We need to do our perimeter pest control. We need to do our flea and tick control. We need to start doing these services and be prepared. If we're lucky that the stay, only lasts until the 13th of April, great. We'll get out and hit lawn care very hard on the 14th. I truly believe it's not going to be the 13th. I think she'll extend it to the end of the month at least. She doesn't seem to realize what it's going to do to our economy. It's going to have a trickle-down effect. So my advice, get out and do the work you can do without getting in trouble. Be prepared. Continue to do sales. Get on the phones, call your cancels, call your rejects, call neighbors of your existing customers that are not on the do not call list. And because we're losing a lot of the tools that normally bring us in business this time of year. Saw a truck, saw your lawn sign, neighbor had their lawn done, and I talked to my neighbor last night. Door-to-door sales. There's a lot of things that we can't do today, so we have to focus on the things we can do. We can't sit in our office, sit on our hands. We got to make sure we're answering our phones. We got to equip our people so they can work from home, make calls, make sales, keep earning a paycheck, keep growing our business. Or maybe this year, maybe it's maintaining our business. Maybe it's just to maintain our business. But the worst thing we could do is do nothing.
Real Green has maintained that every business is different, and it is really up to every business owner to discern whether or not they do meet the criteria for the CISA document, whether or not it makes sense for them, their employees, their customers, and their community to continue service. And so we certainly support customers who fall on either side of that camp, and we have communication products to help you with your customers, whether you've decided to set this out for a while or whether you're choosing service continuity. But we are finding about 99% of our customers in the state of Michigan are wishing to continue service. As you know, I'm a 30-plus year green industry gal, and I had to pick up groceries at the drive-up at Walgreens. And although it should have made me happy, what I saw was many people lined up with bags of fertilizer, bottles of Weed Be Gone, filling up their trunks, taking it home to do it themselves. It certainly speaks to the fact that you and I don't get to pick the calendar. Mother Nature picks the calendar. The window for pre-emergent crabgrass control will close the end of May, whether we like it or not, whether there's a virus or not. And it was somewhat startling to me to see the number of people who have never been do-it-yourself folks. There's a reason why we are licensed pesticide applicators. Glad that they want their lawns taken care of, but they're going to take it home. They're going to try to do it themselves with the kids at home, and then they're going to store that leftover can of Weed Be Gone. They don't know how to store it, how to handle it. They certainly don't have gloves or protective equipment that's even available if you wanted to use it right now or knew how to use it. And so I have a real concern with the amount of DIY do-it-yourselfers that are having to do it now because professionals aren't allowed out to do it. I also noticed that on the Michigan Board of Health website, this is the government site, they note that April 1st is when mosquito season commences in Michigan. Lots of waterways, lots of folks with ponds and lakes. Even though you can't boat, you'd like to think that folks are outside enjoying areas near the water. And I think that most would be fearful that you're going to have further vector-borne diseases such as West Nile, Lyme disease, and no ability to really control that at a professional level. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, there's nothing that would lead me to believe that we can't go out and start doing our pest control. The only person in the way of that right now is our fears as business owners that we're going to get in trouble.
And that's because in the order and her follow-up, she has included extermination. And by definition, NPMA has stated that extermination is the elimination of unwanted pests inside and outside the home. So I agree with that.
Yeah, so I don't think that there's any problem with us going out and starting to do our pest control type services. It's ironic that at my house in the last few days, FedEx has showed up on our porch, UPS has showed up on our porch, Amazon has shown up on our porch. You know, they're allowing some businesses to go to your home, but they're picking who can do that. I don't know of a better social distancing business than the lawn care industry, to be truthful with you. But we're going to have to live with, you know, with her hardcore attitude on the lawn care industry for right now. But let's get out and start doing some pest control and getting out there and generating some revenue, keeping our businesses going, because there's a lot of people that depend on us. It's just not our family. It's our employees' families. It's our employees' ability to send their kids to college. There's so many things. This all works together. So that's my recommendation to the Michigan companies. Get out and do your pest control.
The Real Green page, your resource page, is www.realgreen.com/impact. And if you are a Michigan business owner and you feel like your services meet the criteria issued by the CISA.gov document of Homeland Security and you would like to continue service, there's a petition document that NALP provided us that is a very quick and easy form for you to complete, and it will send to your legislators that are local and state that can hopefully provide the types of information Joe and I have just discussed, as well as specific talking points to the governor. So they need to understand these are locally owned businesses, just like the restaurants and bars that we are all very sensitive to. And we have a narrow window. We don't get to just keep going and apply that pre-emergent July, because that's when we get out the door. And that's that pre-emergent and those materials that we use on your lawn, we know for a fact allows them to resist further pests as we get into the summer months. Joe, any last thing you'd like to tell our Michigan friends?
Well, I appreciate you being part of our Real Green family. Feel free to give me a call. Email me, text me, whatever, if you have any questions. It is unprecedented times, very difficult times. We're going to get through this, but it's. I think the hardest times are still in the coming 2 to 3 weeks. But give me a holler if there's anything I can do for you. And thanks again for being part of our Real Green family.
Hey, Joe, you stay safe. I know that you and I have discussed this many times. First and foremost, we want all of our customers, their employees, and their families to take care of themselves and stay safe when we need them. We need them healthy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Take care, everybody.
Thanks so much, Joe.